الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن والاه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I'd like to talk about the concept of Ibadeh in Islam generally. Commonly and popularly, people, when they talk about Ibadeh, they normally mean the rites and the rituals of Islam, which is Salah, Siyam, Zakat, Hajj. When in fact Allah Ta'ala tells us that Ibadah is our whole existence for Him and seeking His pleasure. Like we read and we learn from Ayah 56 from Surah Al-Dhariyat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, meaning that I have not created jinn and mankind but to worship me, but to serve me. So the whole purpose of creation of jinn and mankind by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to worship Him, to serve Him at all times. In other words, man's whole existence is to be spent in serving Allah Jalla wa Ala, in worshipping Him. We don't know, of course, much or anything about the jinn. For the concept of Ibadah, everything that we do, everything that we think and feel, in other words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is served and is worshipped in every Muslim place, action and feeling and thought. But then again, the man, a Muslim, wonders and says and asks the question, Ya Rabbi, my Lord, how do I serve you? How do I worship you? For Allah Jalla wa Ala tells him that I have appointed you as a vicegerent on earth, as mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 30. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, addressing His angels, He tells them that I am putting Adam on earth as a vicegerent, as Khalifa on earth, to fulfill my purpose on earth. Now, the purpose of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the obligation that He has given to mankind, to human beings when He created them, is to transform this creation into a better place. Like this world, this earth has to be transformed into a better place, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Adam, or man, the obligation to transform this as being Khalifa. But then again, he is not going to do this action hodgepodge and whimsically or at random. So he again wonders and asks what kind of a pattern or a plan of action or a method to adopt in trying to fulfill the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and realize the purpose from His creation. And we learn again, this plan of action has to be executed in a manner that is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and as commanded by Him. And that is, as we learn in Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 72. Allah Jalla wa Ala says, إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ فَأَبَيْنَ أَنْ يَحْمِلْنَهَا وَأَشْفَقْنَ مِنْهَا وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانِ. That we offer this obligation to or this trust rather, to heaven and earth and the mountains. And they declined to carry that trust and were stricken by fear and terror from that obligation. But man offered to accept it. Man accepted that trust. Now, what is that trust? The trust, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us throughout the Quran, is the moral or the ethical part of the divine will. So man is going to fulfill the divine will on this planet, on this earth, transforming it, changing it into a better place, into a copy of the paradise, by adopting a pattern that is totally moral. Otherwise it will fall to the ground. It will defeat the purpose. And that is the wisdom and the purpose from creating man as Khalifa and giving him the freedom of choice between good and evil, vice and virtue. So he has to adopt the virtuous pattern and method in order to realize and fulfill the divine will. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we make dua to give us the strength and the guidance and the enlightenment always to fulfill that pattern by adopting our moral obligation, pursuing the moral and the ethical pattern and the values that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains and details in the Quran. It is full of those, and that is why it is incumbent on every Muslim to read the Quran, to understand it, to understand the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and try to fulfill those and to adopt that method, because in that lies his falah, his success, and his peace and fulfillment. Otherwise, he will stand to lose and will be in pain both in this world and the next. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.